Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. Well, we have had a busy day in the greenhouse today, but we got the entire thing replanted.
Now, our last video, we let you know that we were going to be planting this, and we were hoping to be able to bring you guys along, but you guys, the weather has been crazy. Yesterday, we got like 3 inches of rain, so time has really been pressuring us to just get as much done as we can in the nice weather.
Right. It's been tough because every other day has been rain. So yesterday we got, they said almost 4 inches of rain, I think. Today was a nice day. Tomorrow we're supposed to get more rain. Saturday's going to be nice. Sunday's going to rain again. So it's just been really hard to work around the rain and still try to get a lot of work done.
So even though we did that off camera, we do want to show you guys the work that we got done today and share with you everything that we have planted in the greenhouse.
Now this is going to be the first year that we are trying to replace some of our outdoor garden with greenhouse growing instead. You know that we've had greenhouses on our homestead property for several years now, but we've really used those for growing over the winter and for seed starting in the spring. We've always done our summertime gardening outside.
This greenhouse that we have here, it's on our farm property. It's much bigger. The sides are much taller. It's much taller, and there's a ventilation system. So that allows the temperature to be more regulated and a lot cooler than the other greenhouses that we have at the homestead property.
Right. Yeah, so this year we've done some things in here. Like I said, this is the first time we're doing this.
For summer plants.
Summer plants. Yeah. So we're excited. If this works, who knows, over the time, we may be shrinking the size of our gardens outside and just doing more and more in the greenhouse.
So we're excited to share with you everything that we have planted, everything we got done today. So let's get started. Now, several months ago, I shared with you guys that I've never successfully started celery seed so that I could plant that in the garden. This year, I didn't even try, but we went to a local nursery, an Amish nursery, and the owner had celery starts. So this year, for the first time ever, I'm going to be growing celery, and we have 8 buckets of celery. I planted 1 plant per pot because if it's watered correctly and if it grows well, it can get really big, you guys. It can get like 18 to 36 inches big, so 1 per pot. We're also trying onions in the pots this year. We have 4 buckets of onions. They're candy onions, which we really like, and that was actually a recommendation of our neighbor. We got these little onion sets. They're almost like little tiny onions, not the bulbs, but little onion sets. We have 4 buckets of those. Then we decided to experiment with green beans. Our favorite variety of green beans is a bush type bean, and it is contender beans. So we've planted 5 plants in each bucket, and we've planted 7 of those. But we also wanted to try a variety of bush bean, fresh bean, that we have been recommended by several of you guys over the years. It's called dragon's tongue. And so we have 2 of those planted as well. So a total of 9 buckets of beans. After that, we have some yellow crookneck summer squash that will grow nicely in buckets. And then the last new planting that we did on this side is some basil. This side has some of the remaining plants from over the winter. Just some carrots, garlic, chard, beets, and kale. And then in the back are our citrus trees and our blueberry bushes.
All right, over on this side, we have these 3 buckets here that are already planted. These are turnips that are still coming up from winter, so we didn't do anything with those. These 4 buckets here, we actually didn't get to plant today because we're still waiting for seeds to come in from Baker Creek. These we're actually going to be trying something called Malabar spinach. I know a lot of you have recommended that in the past. It's a spinach alternative, and it's supposed to do really well in warm weather. It's not supposed to bolt, and it's a green that tastes a lot like spinach when it's cooked. So we're excited to try that. After that, in these 3 pots right here, we planted lemon squash. These are something that we did last year outside that we really liked. They're a little squash, a summer squash, that look like a lemon. And they're really good. You pick them when they're pretty young. We put them on our salads. They're really delicious. So we are excited to try those in here. We have some chives that we picked up at our local nursery, the Amish nursery that we went to. I tried chives last year from seed. I started them too late and then they didn't do well over winter. So as long as we were there, I saw these, they looked beautiful. I decided just to pick these up. After that, we're trying, we have 2 zucchini plants in here, the Black Beauty zucchini. We're doing 4 bush cucumber plants in here. This is a new variety that we haven't tried before, but I'm excited to try. Instead of like a vining, climbing cucumber, these are a bush cucumber, and I think that they will do really well in these pots. Now we're getting into the part that I'm excited about, because if this works, it means I get to start eating tomatoes a month earlier than I would if I had to wait for them to be outside. So these first 4 pots are cherry tomatoes. On this side we have 2 large red cherry tomatoes, and on this side we have 2 Juliet tomatoes. These were my absolute favorite cherry tomatoes that we grew last year, so I'm excited about that. Now these are indeterminate, which means they're going to get tall. So we are going to have to put some type of trellis in here once they start growing up bigger. We haven't decided if we're just going to do something around each pot individually or some type of trellis in between them. We'll figure that out as we go on. After that, we did 4 bush beefsteaks. These are a determinate variety, so they won't get nearly as big, which is why we chose them for in the greenhouse. We're excited about trying those. And then some peppers. We have a jalapeno, which is the not spicy variety of jalapenos. We have a regular jalapeno, and then we have 2 types of green peppers. These 3 buckets are still lettuce that we planted maybe about 6 weeks ago. It's still doing really well, so we'll keep that going as long as we can. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot in here too quickly, and we'll be able to keep harvesting lettuce for quite a while. And then at the very end here, just a couple more basil plants. The basil, I think, will do great in here because basil loves the heat.
So you guys, those are all the things that we have planted in our greenhouse for this summer.
I think total it's about 70 buckets. I think we planted 56 today, and then there were the ones that already had things in them.
Yeah, that's exciting.
That is exciting, and I really think we could fit more than that in here if we wanted to.
Yeah. Now, if this goes well, you guys, like Kevin said, we can replace some of the big garden that we grow out in the ground. As we age, this may be more and more of the system we go to as we learn to do this well.
Right. The other nice thing about learning to do this and why we're really trying to, master growing in the greenhouse is because you just have a lot more control. In the greenhouse, we can control the amount of moisture that the plants get. So, like yesterday, when we had 3 inches of rain, if we would have had, say, seedlings in the ground, that could have been devastating to all of the plants we had in the ground. So by being in here, we can control that. We can also control the soil in these pots a lot easier than we can control the soil in the ground.
Now, we definitely have things to learn, but we're excited to be starting this process so that we can learn how to do this better. And that we can get to a point where we're comfortable teaching, this is how you do it. Right now, we're still learning.
Right.
Now, there's one other thing that Kevin and I want to talk to you guys about before we go.
And that is that we have decided that this year we are going to be taking a spring break. It's like a not break spring break. Yeah. We have got so many just odds and ends to get caught up on here on the homestead. Getting equipment ready from over the winter and doing, oil changes and sharpening lawnmower blades and just the little odds and ends that build up over winter that we need to get done. So we've decided we're going to take the next 2 weeks off of YouTube so we can catch up on some of those and we can be good and refreshed to bring you guys back here on the homestead and see what's going on.
We will still be at the farmer's market on Saturdays, so if you guys had planned to come and meet us and buy some plants or whatever we have available, because our plants are going fast, we will still be there at the Ava farmers market in the Ava Square on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to noon.
Right. Don't forget, April 30th will be
Yes.
the first day that we're bringing tomatoes and peppers and all of the warm weather plants.
Those are going to go fast.
Yeah, so if you guys are looking for those, come see us at the farmers market on Saturday mornings.
We are excited to come back all, not refreshed because we're going to be working our buns off, but feeling accomplished that we got a bunch done in those 2 weeks. We're excited to see you guys when we get back.
So if you're enjoying our videos, don't forget that the absolute best way that you can help us is to share our videos on all of your social media. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're not already. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And until next time, thank you so much for stopping by our homestead. Take care, and God bless.
God bless.